Here with Reaction, Kayleigh MceNany is with us. All right, let's start in the state of Georgia. There were also a belief that as many as 40,729 moved across county lines. 15,700 didn't live in Georgia voted. 10,315 dead people may have voted. Then you've got felons voting, non-registered voters voting. P.O. box ballots over 1,000, nearly 5,000 registered to vote after the deadline. Do we count those votes too?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And this is why when you have a state that decides we're just no longer interested in signature match, we're going to partner up with Stacey Abrams. We're going to be weak-kneed Republicans and be steamrolled by Stacey Abrams and the radical left and have Mark Elias and others come into our state and across the nation and throw out the safeguards of our election. This is what happens. And it's very hard to unravel in the aftermath, Sean. But as you can quite evidently see from the testimony today in Georgia and all across the nation, a mass mail-in voting system with no safeguards led to exactly what you're watching.
Now, let's go out. A lot went on in the state of Nevada tonight, and I'm going to be honest because we were supposed to, I understood, and maybe if I'm wrong, correct me, hear from witnesses today. I did watch the president's attorneys and did a pretty powerful presentation out there, but we've identified, according to testimony of individuals and experts that have analyzed what they've been able to get their hands on, that as many as 130,709 votes were illegal. They mailed ballots to everybody on the voter roll. By the way, you have a declaration of somebody witnessing attempt to steal ballots from a mailbox, and a man providing a declaration about his deceased wife's vote counting, and whistleblowing mail carrier declaring a supervisor said don't return as undeliverable a deceased voter's ballot, and witnesses prepared to declare that he's never been registered to vote. Now, the judge, though, in the case, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I thought we were going to hear from him. Now he's saying he's going to read the depositions from witnesses and not hear from them?
Yes, he's going to review the 8,000 pages of depositions because they are comprehensive. Likely rule on this tomorrow, either a motion to dismiss or he will rule on the side of the campaign. But those 8,000 pages of depositions, I was told by our attorneys tonight who are on the ground that they do feel that those are comprehensive enough where if the judge reads them, even without hearing from these witnesses, that they're strong. Because, Sean, let me be clear. All of those stories you just read, these individuals were deposed. They sat across from Perkins Coie attorneys, the best leftist attorneys in the countries. They were scrutinized and they withstood scrutiny. And those 8,000 pages will show that. They'll also show another individual who said, I left the room. I saw the vote tally. When I came back the next day, the vote tally had changed despite the fact that no more votes had been counted. Another person who said they saw in front of a Biden-Harris bus someone opening ballots, a group of people, marking them, sealing them, and then presumably mailing them in. And the attorneys really were not able to disprove any of those individuals' testimony in those 8,000 pages. So those depositions should really push that judge to rule on our side.
Okay, last question for you, and thank you again. Let's talk a little bit about the Pennsylvania case. That's the case where the Pennsylvania Constitution does not allow for all the mail-in balloting that the legislature then decided that they were going to ignore. I believe if that goes up to the U.S. Supreme Court, that is a constitutional issue. You can't just violate a state constitution, and it's in direct conflict. There's no ambiguity here.
That's exactly right. There's zero ambiguity here. Ted Cruz has been on this. He's been exactly right. The Supreme Court needs to take this up because when it got to the liberal 5-2 Nevada Supreme Court, what did they say? They didn't say you were wrong. They didn't say what they did was constitutional. They said, sorry, you just brought this a little late. That's not an argument. Our elections matter. Our constitutions matter, be it the U.S. Constitution or the Pennsylvania Constitution. This should get a hearing in the Supreme Court of the United States. I think it will. Gorsuch Alito will have the decision as to whether the full court will vote to take it up, but we'll see if that happens.
All right, Kayleigh MceNany, thank you for being with us.